So it's Friday, November 24th, 2028. The Sacramento Athletics have finished the season at 81-81. We did not make the playoffs, but we do have a lot to get through. You see, we are second in the division. This is our high watermark so far over 5 years. Highest division finish, most amount of wins, highest Pythagorean win total at 79-83. But, excuse me, I'm getting through some allergies. It was another situation of losing in the last week of the season. So we did take 2 or 3 from the Texas Rangers, and that's what boosted us over them. But a late season surge by the Baltimore Orioles allowed them to get that last wild card spot. I believe they took a series against the Pirates and the Red Sox, winning 6 straight to end the year. That put them over the top, unfortunately for us. And so we missed the playoffs once again. But some things have happened. We're at the first day of free agency. I moved forward so I could break down some of the moves we made. I didn't really think that the stats were as important, but I'll go through them. A few key guys that we moved on from. First, Mitch Keller. I misspelled his name. Wanted a lot of money in free agency. I did not give anyone the qualifying offer between him and Cavalli, even though they wanted a deal that could have maybe generated a qualifying offer. I didn't want to risk having one of them on an $18 million salary for a season. We just don't have that kind of money. So Keller, 3.29 ERA, a 1,000,000% return on investment. I think we had him for under $2 million. I can check that, can't I? Yeah, 1.9 with the Athletics and doing that kind of stuff. Now he's a free agent. We've kind of, I feel like if this was real life, we have developed a reputation of turning around pitchers. We've been pretty consistent in that with Lodolo. And then Cavalli, though, I wouldn't say had the greatest year with us. He just really cooled off towards the end. Started the most games in Major League Baseball. Had a good start in October, but he was rough after a good month of May and just kind of was throwing for us. Now, he wants a lot of money, more money than Keller. Maybe I could have gotten away with it, giving him the qualifying offer, but who knows? I didn't want to risk it again. Another guy, Bregman, also a free agent. We had a lot of guys leave. Bregman didn't really do well with us when he came back from injury. In fact, he's now kind of a first baseman. Can't really field at third anymore. It's a shame, but he wants a lot of money too. So he will not be back. The biggest success story at the deadline for us was Spencer Torkelson, who destroyed the baseball in 182 plate appearances for us. Very high BABIP, 153 OPS plus, 11 home runs, his season total of 32, one shy of what he did in Detroit in 2027. And he, after that effort, wants a massive deal at age 29, finally reaching free agency. Again, we are not giving him that. So, what else is there to talk about in terms of our transaction history? Do I have the guys that just became free agents? A couple guys claimed on waivers. Emmanuel Rodriguez back with Toronto. Tyler Gilbert, whatever. Will Banfield, whatever. Robert Moore, I did waive, and now he's with the Angels, and he's a 50 potential guy. Out of options. I didn't really see a future with him for us. Do I have any releases? How does this work? I don't know. Here's all the leaves as free agent. Johan Oviedo came up for a little bit and pitched very well for us, 32 2/3 innings over 6 starts. He wants $6.5 million now. It's a shame that he's a free agent, but he'll have to walk. I can't pay him that. Xavier Edwards will leave as a free agent. Brady Basso has left as a free agent. I love Brady Basso, but the ratings fell off ever since he got hurt, and I just didn't want to spend $1 million on him. So, I believe that's it. I don't think I released anybody else ahead of free agency. So, where does the team stand right now, and what are some moves that we made? Go into November. I just want to be able to pull up the trades easily. 2 big stars on our team are no longer with the team. Unfortunately, that's the way business has to be done with the Sacramento Athletics. Mason Miller has been traded. I was okay doing this. He's fragile. He's a free agent after the year. And the discrepancy of his FIP to his RWAR after his injury, I think is telling. He's fine. But for us, I think his value is too. I don't know how to word this properly, but other teams probably value him more than we have to value him. You can find a reliever that can get you a win above replacement, I think, for less than $7.5 million. And then to get who we got back, which was catching prospect Tim McFarland, who we're low, very high on now. 60 power potential. He's a decent defensive catcher, and I've done a lot to fortify the catcher position this offseason. You'll see it as a theme. He's 23. He's a lefty, and he hit really well in high A, cooled off a bit in double A, but he'll keep churning. And I don't know. This was the best prospect I had seen for Miller. We had to give up Wilson Ortega, who I don't really care about. Next trade. This one also could be a little bit controversial, but I think with what I squeezed out of it, it's fine. Tyler Soderstrom is now a member of the New York Mets. He replaces Pete Alonso, who walked in free agency. Soderstrom, again, had a negative win season for us. He was a better hitter than he was in 2026, but he was so bad defensively at first that his value tanked. And with this contract left on the books, I just wanted to move on from him just in case he falls off. I don't know if he will. I'm not certain he will. He's only 27. He still has the 65 power. But I'll talk about the guys in a minute that I think we can recreate in the aggregate. And it's not really like we have to recreate much. He was an awful player 2 out of the past 3 seasons. And I just don't know what happened to him, man. It's tough. He had a really rough May, never really rebounded, and never was an above-average hitter. It just is what it is with Soderstrom. We trade Taylor Rabe, who's a nothing reliever, and Ray Garrett, who's a free agent, for Jacob Cozart, another lefty catcher. He is on the 40-man roster. He's a very good defensive catcher. Maybe not very good with the framing, only at a 55. But he can also play a little bit of first base. I don't really trust the bat that much, but hit well in AAA. He was up with the Mets all season as their backup catcher. He's only 25. He's got options, 2 options left. We pick up Jacob Hernandez, who I immediately cut because I didn't care. He was just on the trade block. And Derek Curiel, 65 outfield range. We had a need for organizational depth in center field at the high minor league levels with the, I think, impending promotion of Connor Griffin and kind of a lack of that type of player at the AA level. He was good in AA, just a nice throw-in at 23, can play center field and the other 2 outfield positions pretty well. And the big kicker in this is that we got $10 million in cash. I don't know why the Mets, I could have even pushed this higher. I didn't go to the point in which they were like, no, we're not taking this deal. But they're just going to pay $16 million, I guess, for Soderstrom this year. They believe in him that much. I don't know. And they gave me 2 prospects for $10 million. I feel like I can't pass up on that with the risk of Soderstrom just being terrible for the remainder of his contract. It's not like it's that big of a deal, but for us, it kind of is. Excuse me about these allergies. Angel Zerpa cooled off towards the end of the season as well. A bad August kind of sunk his time with us after a really hot start. I was okay moving on from him. He wanted $3 million in arbitration. I wasn't willing to pay him that. And the ratings came down a bit too with Eric Kubota, who was our previous scout, retired, and we have a new scout now. I believe his name is Ramos. Udi Ramos, if I'm pronouncing the first name correctly. He's our new scout, highly favored tools. You saw it for a half second, It's kind of an afterthought. Jonathan Hyatt was a guy who a lot of teams wanted. I guess he can play third base, but the bat isn't really there. He's 20, and he was our 17th round pick in 2027, but I was okay to move on from him. And we pick up Victor Acosta, who is a guy that I've had in different saves before. He comes over from Tampa with 1 option year left. He can play all over the infield. His best positions are at second and third. Doesn't have great outfield ratings, but we could probably slide him in left or right for a game or 2. And I think he's a good utility player, switch hitter. on the minimum. He can steal bags. Like, he's an all-around good bench piece to have, and maybe he starts games with the kind of team we've been fielding over the past few years. Sean Herman, I added him to the deal, and I guess I forgot to extend him on a minor league deal, so he's gone. Maybe I bring him back. He's fine. I believe that's it for right now. Did add Caden Grice off waivers. The control worries me, but he is a lefty and has a little bit of pop in his bat. He was always for a long time like a secret two-way player that you could draft, and now he's a real-life prospect, I get. Like, he was drafted by the Diamondbacks in real life, so I don't know, kind of an interesting pickup. I also just remembered I forgot to do the development lab, so I want to do that before. Or let me go into the players, and maybe we'll pick somebody who I want to choose for this. Connor Griffin, probably one of them. Here's Connor Griffin's stats. He had a great season in AAA after being promoted from AA. He's hit every step along the way, except for a little bugaboo in 92 plate appearances in AA the year he was drafted. So, he's ready to go, basically, I think, after the point in which we'll pick up the extra year team control, because we're doing that. I'm a pro-labor guy, but we got to keep him around. Pat Brasseur also almost ready. Pitchers need a little bit more time. He's a 61 prospect in baseball. Sure. Marcus Morgan, I like to track his development. He was our fourth-round pick in 2024, so one of the first draft picks of the series, and he finally had a great season in the minor leagues this year in AA. I'm happy to finally see that from him because I thought he's had good ratings all along. Other guys, Danny Spain, I do like him. I'm trying to get scouting reports on all these guys with the new scouting regime in place. But other than that, I don't know. I'll probably do Griffin to realize either the contact or the power. He's such a good defender. I love him as a player, man. And then Bobby Hunter, I think I want to realize his plate discipline. I feel like that'd be a good thing to go after for him. And then anybody else that's like, I think we'll do Brasseur again. He got a boost last year. Maybe Joey Estes on the stuff, because we need starters. It's a big problem. We need some starters right now. Our current rotation is Garindo, Tanner Hall, Emerson Hancock, who got bumped to the bullpen towards the end of the year because he just wasn't pitching well, Marcheco, and Trace Bright, who actually got 5 starts towards the end of the year. And, I mean, he was a good quality starter as a Rule 5 draft pick, an all-star, but he fractured his coracoid, and he was out for a long time. I don't know. Cole Mathis, another guy who it'd be cool to see him come up. He's actually a pretty good first baseman. And then the bullpen, I'll add to it as I add to it. But we got, on the lineup side, Bolte, 41 bombs for the boy, the young bull, 3.6 F4, great defender, great pop. Just wanted just short of $4.5 million on arbitration. Happy to pay that. Lawrence Butler, best season of his career. Happy about that. High BABIP, so I could expect some regression this season. Daniel Suzak, best season of his career. Manuel Pena, full season for the first time in the bigs, and he showed out. And now really good at third, too. Nasim Nunez, we have some great infield flexibility. Denzel Clark, I'm keeping him around, with this 75 outfield range. There's some guys that I'm looking into to maybe platoon him and not have him play against so many righties, but I don't know. Maybe Trent Grisham. Malloy is back. If he doesn't succeed, then I think Connor Griffin's the replacement for him as a righty outfielder. Miguel Vargas we've kept. Again, it's another situation where I think he's a good player, and I am not in a position to move on for less than he's worth with the lineup we have. And now Aaron Bradshaw, I got to look it up after this. Switch hitter. So he fills the side of the platoon that Soderstrom is in with Vargas. At least not a platoon. They both kind of split at first and DH. Played great for us in 219 plate appearances, 141 OPS plus. The scouting accuracy is very high. He's a good first baseman defensively. 60 pop, and he's on the minimum salary for, I think, 2 more years. So he is just obviously 2 more. Yeah, this upcoming year and the year after he'll be on the minimum, and then arbitration. So we have more years of team control. He's cheaper. That's why I thought it was okay to go away from Soderstrom and give him the lion's share of playing time at first. Austin Charles is back. He'll be more of a quad A type guy this season. Armando Cruz, I think, will actually battle for the starting shortstop spot with Nasim Nunez, but the range has come down, so he might be our second baseman. I'm not sure yet. Victor Acosta also in there as well. Penango back. Alfredo Duno was Rule 5 eligible, so I had to add him to the 40-man. We now have 4 catchers on the 40-man, which I don't ever do. I only ever do 3. But with Cozart, Duno, Hernandez, and Suzak, there are 4 guys that I want to keep around right now. Gabriel Martinez back as well. We'll see what he can do in spring training. And then I guess the last guy is Bobby Hunter, who could take the starting job at third base. So happy to have acquired him. Ben Allen was not good at all in high A with whatever team this is. Or was this us? No, this was Lansing. Yeah, he was awful in Lansing, and they still wanted him. He went down to San Jose and pitched like okay. So yeah, they just gave us a starting position player for reliever, which I'm very happy about. I think the one thing I'm going to add to the Jacob Wilson back from post-concussion syndrome, I'm going to give him one last shot. He's kind of gotten screwed over with injuries in his career, and I think he's still got enough of a skill set. The problem is he doesn't have any options left, but I'll be okay to expose him to waivers if he's not hitting in spring training. One last shot for him. So if I were to add one more player to the 40-man roster, it would be another outfielder, not Connor Griffin. I will add him to the 40-man as soon as he's ready to go, not right now. And I think if I had to, I would pick a lefty outfielder. That's who I have shortlisted right now. In terms of pitching, this is the much thinner department, which is surprising considering how well we've been defensively across this simulation and not offensively. The offense has finally become deep. Pitching, again, I think it's an offseason where I need to add like 4 starters. I would be comfortable adding 4. Definitely at least 3. Because I do not have the arms right now. And maybe I call up Freddie Tarnok and Mitch Spence. Spence still has 3 options years left. So yeah, we'll call up Mitch Spence. Yeah. So Spence, interestingly enough, was a Rule 5 draft pick by the A's in real life. He was claimed by the White Sox and had the best seasons of his career with the White Sox. It is one of our biggest misses so far in the series that we waived him, but he's back now on a minimum salary. And then I don't know who else. Maybe Marcus Morgan comes up. I don't know if he's ready, though. He'll get a shot, I guess, spring training. He'll still be exposed to the Rule 5. Whatever, we'll figure it out. So 6 more pitchers and an outfielder are needed. Here's what I'm looking at in free agency. So, in terms of offensive players, Sal Frelick only wants $3.8 million. I think that's reasonable. Very good all-around player, and with how many guys we have in the outfield that are not contact guys, really it's only Penango, and he's not a regular player, not even a bench player. This skill set is something we don't have, as well as the base stealing ability. So, Frelick, I think, first, Grisham second. He's more of a complementary player. I think I'll offer Frelick right now. I just like his skill set. Maybe 2 years. It's good for him. So Sal Frelick, I can take him off. And then Grisham, I don't really want him. Because Bolte can play. If Clark gets hurt, Bolte can come up. I can call up Connor Griffin. That's not hard. Jose Ramirez, I want to get the scouting report back on him because I will look into him as a switch-hitting third base backup for Bobby Hunter, a veteran. He is not as great there defensively as he once was. Certainly not as great of a hitter as he is, as he's always been. I didn't know his BABIP was this low in his career. That's crazy that he's done the type of stuff he's done. Yeah, he's a crazy player. So Ramirez is a guy I'm thinking about. Only wants $2.2 million. And like I said, with that big influx of cash, right now the budget's low because I've pumped all this money into player development. I'll move that down if we need to. But right now that's what I have it at. So, for the pitchers, they're all listed as starters, but I don't know if they all are. Louis Varland first, good season with the Twins and in the minors. Budget option. Sheehan's a guy that I like. Christopher Sanchez, a guy that I looked at last offseason as a lefty. I will probably end up bringing him in with this control, but the 3 pitches worries me. Carlos Rodon, I think, will be another one of our true reclamation projects like we did with McCullers. I get that he's fragile, but he is a more talented pitcher than we would receive at this price, and I'm willing to take the risk at that, on that, given how close we are. I mean, you can see these guys all want a lot more money than Rodon is asking for. Maybe Jordan Hicks comes in, a bit less of a risk. I'll probably add him to the short list too. And then Bradish, who is also hurt. I think I could look into as cheaper guys. This free agent class is ridiculous. Like, I have never seen a free agent class in this game. In any, like the 5 years that I played this game, I've never seen it this deep. Acuna, Alvarez, O'Hop, Bautista, Volpe, Clase, Duran, Spencer Strider, Cassis, Cortez, Hader, Webb, Diaz, Hunter Green. I mean, like, come on. And you can keep going down the list, like William Contreras, Garrett Mitchell. And then you have like the vets like Alonso, Arozarena, Arias, Cody Bellinger, Bregman. Garrett Clevenger had a good season with the Phillies in his first year away from us. Henry Davis, former first overall pick. Like, they got guys. McMahon. Oh, my God, we missed out on Ryan McMahon. He got traded to Philadelphia at the deadline from Los Angeles. But he was an all-star this season. And now he wants like $17 million. He would be the perfect candidate to slide into the lineup. He got super good BABIP luck, but I think that we should have brought him back. It really wasn't that expensive of a deal. That's a tough pill to swallow. But that's the depth of the free agent class. Who else am I looking at? Jonah Don. Joe Boyle, former Athletic, didn't pitch well at all with the Dodgers. But I'd bring him in as a reliever, which is what he was there. Mike Burrows, I like with the control. Control's been a big deal in this game. Savali is a guy like that. $2.2 million. He also could be a guy that just flames out in the middle of the season because he's 33. Oh, I forgot to go to Casey Mize. I cut him before the season. Yeah, he's fallen off a cliff, so I'm okay leaving him. Cutter Crawford, I like a lot. He wants $7 million. I want that to come down. I'm hoping that we get guys. Like, I'm going to go out and get the guys that I want right now, but to supplement, I'll wait until the free agent class overall dries up with how deep it is. So we got Faedo, Hicks, Giovanni Moran I really like. I'm probably going to offer him immediately. And Rodon I think I'll offer immediately. So that's what we got right now, and let's do this development thing and get out of here before the next season. Bobby Hunter, I would like him. Generate bat speed is power, right? No, I want plate discipline. Do plate discipline for Bobby Hunter. I don't care about Bracco. Contact for Duno would be good. Yeah. Do him on that. I want to look at the guys who have the biggest gap between potential and overall. So Estes, I feel like he could benefit adding a pitch. I haven't tried this yet, so I'm going to try that. Adding a pitch to the arsenal. I think that would take him to the next level. And now we'll get into prospects. Guys who are older. Does this improve stuff, or does it just do... What improves stuff? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll do that for him. Grady Emerson needs to frickin' come along, man. I'll do Griffin, and then I think... So what do we want to do for him? Power. Unlock the power. Yeah. And then I'll do one defensive training for a guy. So who's a guy that needs to get better at defense? Want to do Suzak? No, I don't care enough. Cozart. I don't know. Who's a guy that's under team control for a while? I think Pena. I want to just get him going here. I'll do his plate discipline. Yeah, I like that. That's a good mix. So, I will make a video at opening day 2029. Thank you for watching. 5 years down, we finally made it to 500. Bye.